let's talk about Disney, and I will be brutally honest with Disney. Hey folks, have you heard the buzz about Disney's future? Today we're diving into some mysteries surrounding the world of Disney. It's no secret that Disney has its share of controversies and shortcomings. In this discussion, I won't delve into any theories. Instead, shed light on the facts. So let me break down what's really going on behind the scenes at Disney.
Kind of the same thing. He's saying that they made too many Marvel shows. He's saying that
they have considered it a mistake. The board obviously had its issues with Bob.
But go yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
What's happening in Disney? At the outset, Disney faced a setback as it incurred financial losses, leading to widespread discussion. Its stocks plummeted by 50%. Surprisingly, though, Disney seems uninterested in taking steps to restore its reputation. Some might wonder why. The answer is rather straightforward. Their movies have been disappointing. They have also tampered with stories from the past. Moreover, their films seem to agenda. However, why Disney has changed drastically over time? The reason behind this transformation is quite unsettling. I urge you to watch the clip as it reveals intriguing details about this subject matter. What is Disney World? Disney World is a big part of many people's lives, including mine. You may not realize just how much of an impact Disney has on our daily lives. Take a look at this picture. It shows the various companies that Disney owns. Disney owns a lot of companies, and it's important to understand what you're supporting when you watch any Disney content. At first, Fox is a company involved in both film and news. Also, the 20th Century, National Geographic, various news channels, Marvel, beIN Sports, real estate companies, investment companies, banks, and Pixar. It's important to note that Disney has shifted its focus away from being a movie company and is now primarily driven by just money goals. However, some concerns have been raised about the methods they employ to generate revenue. The individuals in control of this company are described as malicious. Their influence seems to extend. Please, this video must be shared due to its significance. The beginning of Disney. The Disney Company was established in 1923 by Walt Disney. Before 100 years, his aim was to create content that was featured beloved characters like Mickey Mouse, who instilled important values in children's minds. Through the characters he brought to life, Walt fostered ideals among children. For example, Pinocchio teaches kids the importance of honesty. The successful period in Disney's history, known as the Disney Renaissance, spanned from 1989 to 1999. During this era, the company released films such as The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, The Lion King, Tarzan, and many others that continue to captivate us with their beauty and charm. These movies achieved success. The Lion King, which earned close to $1 billion, according box office revenues. When looking back at Disney's productions, it becomes evident that they all adhere to principles. The Lion, Tarzan, which are Disney movies, impart valuable lessons to children about the significance of cherishing their family. In the 90s, another film that deeply resonated with me was Toy Story. What makes Toy Story intriguing is not its association with Disney, but the fact that it was created by Pixar, Disney's biggest rival. During a certain period, Disney entered into a contract with Pixar to produce 3 films in exchange for a large sum of money. Pixar, being a powerhouse in filmmaking, professionally produced these movies, including Monsters University, Incredibles 2, WALL-E, and Ratatouille. At that time, Disney was not proficient in animation, so Pixar worked on the Toy Story project for almost 2 years before handing it over to Disney. However, Pixar made a mistake by portraying the character 2 weeks after receiving the first version of the film from Disney. They presented me with a new version which became the most successful animation film in history. Disney was successful during that period because its movies had good stories and positive messages that resonated with families. Word of mouth was the only marketing tool used. In the year 2000, Disney continued to produce great films, including Kim Possible. However, some of their films did not perform well at the box office. They produced movies that were unsuccessful and did not receive much attention. During this time, the animation market was dominated by Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, causing Disney to lose a lot of money. Yet in the circumstances facing Disney, I made the decision to acquire Pixar along with other competing entities. of you may be wondering how Disney was able to purchase Pixar, given the significant financial losses it had experienced during that period. However, it's important to note that the source of money used for the acquisition was not entirely legitimate. Disney eventually bought Pixar for around $7 billion, but with the condition that it would not have control over the ideas produced by Pixar. Disney had to accept this condition because it needed Pixar's creative input. You may also be curious as to why this condition was imposed on Disney. The reason will be revealed shortly in this video, so stay here. Disney continued to use its financial resources to acquire other companies, including Marvel. However, it was essentially taking advantage of the creativity of these acquired companies to bolster its reputation. In 2013, Disney produced a highly successful film called Frozen. The movie was so popular that it earned over $1 billion for Disney. Frozen is renowned for its powerful message of courage, which makes it an excellent choice for children to watch. However, during that year, Disney made a significant mistake that still haunts them to this day. I have a request, and I hope you can help me. It's really hard when you put all your time and effort into something you love and it doesn't work. So I was hoping you could help me by just sharing my video. If you can subscribe to my channel, click like, and leave a comment. It will help me publish the video, and it will reach other people, and my dream will come true. Your support means a lot to me. Disney mistake. In 2014, Disney introduced a same-sex couple consisting of 2 women. That time, Disney faced criticism from groups who believed that such inclusion deviated from the core essence of their films. It's important to clarify that this perspective is not about being for or against the LGBTQ community, but because it is an agenda that does not serve the idea of the movie. Afterward, Disney decided to breathe life into their tales by remaking films like Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast. However, in 2020, Disney surprised audiences with a movie called Onward. Also again, there was a couple portrayed in the film who had a relationship that didn't necessarily contribute to the main storyline, but seemed to have an additional agenda. It's worth mentioning that this film faced controversy among audiences due to their concerns about this agenda. The movie was a disappointment as it only grossed $142 million, unlike films in the same franchise. This indicates that audiences are not pleased with the inclusion of agendas in movies. Despite this, Disney persists in incorporating agendas. Pixar nearly faced a setback due to the departure of their supporter. Consequently, Disney made the decision in 2022 to release the film Lightyear, which serves as a sequel to Toy Story. However, this movie generated controversy, resulting in insults and suggestive remarks. Additionally, there was insistence on including a same-sex couple of women with what seemed like an agenda. At this stage, Disney experienced losses of approximately $1.5 billion. This served as evidence for me to reconsider and refrain from pushing any agenda. Parents are often dissatisfied if their children don't find the movies entertaining. It seems counterproductive to include agendas that might not resonate well with the audience. The crucial question arises: why does Disney persist in incorporating couples despite these losses? In my opinion, there may be individuals behind the scenes who advocate for and introduce these ideas. Disney recently made the bold move to release Strange World. The storyline revolves around the hero's feelings for another man. The film achieved a rating of 5.7, generated a box office revenue of $73 million just. This movie marked a turning point for them. To put it plainly, the CEO says, "I believe the best way for our company to bring about lasting change is through the inspiring content we produce." The subject matter became quite evident, sparked an online movement urging people to boycott Disney. However, despite the controversy, Disney persisted. Now, let me discuss in this video the alterations made to Disney's stories within their movies. Vandalism of stories. In the new of the Mermaid film, the protagonist takes on a significant role. The main character, as seen in the provided image, has hair and fair skin. However, in Disney's movie, there are some changes made that do not seem to align with the storyline. You can let me know if her complexion differs from the narrative. How will it impact the movie? I would just mention that the African American community expressed their opposition to the matter as they perceived Disney to be distorting stories for purposes of marketing. There's another movie called Snow White. The name suggests that Snow White is a princess white with skin, but Disney has chosen an actress of Colombian origin for the role, whose skin tone is tan. It seems contradictory. The story revolves around a princess as Snow, so why cast a brunette in this role? Moreover, if someone disagrees with this choice, they might be labeled as racist due to Disney's tactics. However, it's not about racism. They twist stories to create controversy. This is one of the reasons why Disney has faced failures and had to lay off 7,000 employees. As a result, the CEO has even decided to sell parts of Disney. There are speculations that Apple might be interested in acquiring some aspects of Disney. It's quite possible that Disney will eventually fade away. I believe that upcoming generations of children won't be as interested in watching Disney content. However, there's a question to ponder. Why did Disney refuse to collaborate with the Toy Story that they believed would negatively impact children? Allow me to introduce you to the Human Rights Campaign because it plays a pivotal role in this situation. Your initial reaction might be positive when I mention the Human Rights Organization. In reality, it's not so straightforward. The reason being is that the Human Rights Institution has its own specific objectives outlined in its description. It holds the distinction of being the institution applying pressure on companies regarding support for LGBT rights. This initiative is known as the Corporate Equality Index. The support for the LGBT community is an aspect. There is a system of incentives that reward companies for their support towards LGBTQ individuals. When these companies receive recognition, their reputation and standing in the index improves. Disney, for instance, has a rating in this regard. However, it's worth noting that the Corporate Equality Index operates somewhat like figures who use their power to persuade investors to engage with them by implying consequences if they don't comply. Essentially, if Disney had not shown support for LGBT individuals, that could have had an impact on their Corporate Equality Index score. In conclusion, I want to emphasize that my intention is not to express opposition or support towards the LGBT community. Rather, I aim to provide an explanation as to why Disney aligns with this category. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and peace.